Did you guys know the first electric car in India was Reva, launched back in 2008. It had a 9.6 kilowatt hour battery with a range of around 60 to 70 kilometers with one charge. We have come a long way ahead, and most of the electric cars in India from Tata, MG, Hyundai and others have a more powerful battery with an average range of 200 to 250 kilometers. Could you please tell our viewers कि ये region होती क्या है?
See, basically, region is a concept wherein every time you apply brake, a certain amount of power goes back to the battery automatically.
Okay.
So in the long run, it helps you get more range out of your vehicle, out of your battery pack.
Achha.
So in Nexon, there are basically 3 region modes: level 1, level 2, level 3. So level 1 is the lightest.
Achha.
So you don't have to manually apply brake. आप एक्सेलरेशन करके जब आप छोड़ देते हो गाड़ी को, तो गाड़ी अपने आप स्लो होना स्टार्ट हो जाती है. So there is automatic braking, and that braking helps you get the power back to the battery pack, like I told you before.
Right. और level 3 सबसे ज़्यादा होता है.
हाँ, level 3 is very hard. So level 3 में एक a person doesn't even have to touch brake.
अच्छा.
He can do the entire drive without even touching brake. It is very hard, and the car stops very much faster. On level 2 it's a little lighter. Level 1 is the lightest.
Right. तो आप ड्राइव करने के टाइम पे कौन सा लेवल पे आप लगते हो?
देखिए, मैंने ट्राई सब कुछ किया. मैंने लेवल 1 किया है, लेवल 2 किया है, लेवल 3 किया है. I usually prefer to drive it at level 0.
अच्छा.
Because I have a habit of driving on momentum, and that is how I have been able to get a really good range out of my car. I'm able to juice it to the maximum level, and I'm able to get a range of around 320 to 350 kilometers with AC on. Tata
has sold around 16,000 units of electric cars in 2022, and its nearest competitor, MG, has sold only 1,600 units. That's 10% of what Tata has sold. The major chunk of Tata's EV sales, credit goes to Tata Nexon EV. ये वीडियो मैं इसीलिए बना रहा हूँ ताकि हम लोग को समझ में आए कि किसी को अगर EV लेनी होती है तो they go and prefer Nexon EV. Today I have the owner of Nexon EV, Mr. Karthik. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
He will tell us his overall experience and the reason for buying an EV. So, Karthik, tell me, why did you go for an EV and specifically Nexon EV?
I have always been an EV enthusiast since 2014, to be precise. I was always interested in a technology that would take us to a greener future with a very less carbon footprint and makes life easier for all of us, right? So I will tell you why EV first, and then I'll come back to why Nexon EV specifically. Yeah. So, जैसा मैंने बताया आपको, 2014 से I have been wanting to own an EV vehicle, but there was never a practically viable option, right? तो हमारे पास रेवा ऑप्शन था पहले, but it was not practical. It was a very tiny car with hardly a 60 to 70 kilometer range, not practical even for a city drive. उसके बाद महिंद्रा took over Reva, and they came up with Mahindra E2 and E2 Plus. So मैंने वो भी try किया. Again, that was a car worth 10-11 lakhs with this, which was of the size of a nano, and again very less range. So all those things were not practical. So when Tata Nexon came, I think that was the only viable option for most of the buyers out there. And there are many advantages to the car. एक तो इसका range बहुत अच्छा है. So I have taken EV Max, which offers 417 kilometers, which is company claimed, but I'm able to get a good range, between 330 to 350.
अच्छा, ऐसा है?
Right. 330 to 350 in city, and highway you can expect 350 to 300 के बीच में, right? अच्छा. So that's a pretty good range for a city drive. Also, it is jam packed with a lot of features, with luxury features, and the cabin space, the driving experience, everything has been really good.
So ये वाला आपको कितना पड़ा on road?
So this is Nexon EV Max with a 7.2 kilowatt charger. So it's around 21 lakhs approx.
Okay.
The running cost of EVs is very less. Right. Even though the initial pricing is high. So a Nexon top model, which one can get for 14 lakhs, this has costed me 21 lakhs, like I said before, right? So even though there is an initial higher cost, in the long run, अगर मैं गाड़ी बहुत ज़्यादा चलाता हूँ, तो the running cost is very cheap for me. Okay. So it's basically 1 rupee per kilometer compared to 6 rupees to 7 rupees per kilometer for an ICE vehicle. Right. So that is a huge game changer, and also the maintenance cost is almost nil. So when we go for a servicing for these kind of cars, there is nothing because there is no combustion engine, right? So there is no engine oil. So overall, the maintenance cost also comes down to a great extent.
Right. Nexon EV has a 40.5 kilowatt per hour battery. It gives a claim range of 430 kilometers, but you mentioned that you're getting the best out of it. तो ये जो आपका Nexon EV का ओनरशिप है, उसका एक्सपीरियंस हमारे साथ शेयर किए. क्या क्या अच्छा आपको लगा Nexon EV में, the pros that you find?
So see, I've been owning this vehicle since the past 3 months, and I've driven over 3,000 kilometers. The overall review is fantastic. I'm very happy with the car. Right. It's a fabulous car to own. It's it's a wonderful joy to ride this car. The driving is excellent. Like it's very smooth, and I can say it is better than the output is way better than ICE cars.
Right.
Just acceleration hai when I put it. So this car has 3 driving modes. One is economy mode, one is city mode, and one is sports mode.
Right.
So the sports mode and the city drive, I can definitely assure you, any EV owner you ask them, they will tell the output is way better than a combustion engine vehicle.
Right.
So acceleration is good. You can, the top speed goes up to 120 to 140. I've not gone to that speeds, but I think that's what is claimed. So overall, it has been really good. And the features also, specifically Nexon EV, offers you a lot of things. It has ventilated seats, though you have to pay a premium amount for it, right? Top model. Sunroof, air purifier. So it has got a lot of features which only luxury cars used to have before. So overall, the car has been a wonderful experience. The boot space is good. The cabin space is good. Ground clearance is amazing for an SUV. Overall, the experience has been really good.
Okay. So Nexon EV में और क्या-क्या features है ज़रा हमें बताइए जो आपको अच्छा लगता है.
So there are a number of features. Starting off, the car has keyless entry, which is a really good feature.
Yes.
So जो मेरे पास पहले की गाड़ी थी वो it was bought in 2010.
Right.
So there's a major difference again. It's very convenient for a driver to just get in, not plug in the key.
Right.
That's a good feature I love. Then there is a start stop button. Same thing, basically both go along with each other, right?
Right.
So it makes a user's life very easy. I can just keep the key in pocket, not bother about taking it out and putting it in again and again. So that's a feature I love. Again, I have driven many other vehicles, multiple SUVs, compact SUVs, the new gen SUVs and hatchbacks which have a modern infotainment system. I really love the infotainment system on this car made by Herman.
Right.
It's very responsive. आज तक मुझे lag नहीं लगा है किसी भी चीज़ में. Updation आसानी से होता है. Whenever I connect my smartphone, me and my wife, whenever we connect our smartphones, instant, it picks up.
Right.
बहुत बार ऐसा मैंने बाकी कार्स में देखा कि it gets stuck. Apple CarPlay or Android Auto doesn't work well. तो इसमें मैंने वो issue नहीं देखा है. The speaker quality is really good. There are also a few terrain-based and add-on driving features in this car that I would like to mention about. So this car comes with hill descent option, hill hold option. So basically hill descent is when अगर गाड़ी आपकी uphill जा रही है. So there is a problem with IC vehicles. That if the driver is not an expert, he is not used to driving on those kind of terrains, the vehicle comes back and people get scared, right? And the vehicle behind might get hit. So वो issue यहाँ पे नहीं है. Once I switch on the hill descent feature on this car, अगर मैं uphill जा रहा हूँ, even if my leg is not on the brake, the vehicle will not come back. So it takes off that fear, from rookie drivers कि गाड़ी पीछे आएगी. Then there is also hill hold. So hill hold भी क्या करता है, अगर गाड़ी आपके नीचे जा रही है, तो you have to put brake when the vehicle is going, down from a hill to a normal ground level area. इसमें कैसा है कि गाड़ी फिर अपने आप नीचे नहीं आएगी. तो you have complete control while you're driving. On top of that, you have cruise control also. And cruise control आप लोग को पता होगा कि बहुत premium गाड़ियों में होता है usually. So that is also a feature that you get, with the top model of Nexon EV. Other than that, a really good feature is auto hold.
Right.
So auto hold is basically a feature wherein अगर मैंने इसको on रखा हुआ है, so whenever I am in a high traffic situation, bumper to bumper traffic, I don't have to, keep on hitting brake. Whenever the vehicle stops, I can take my leg out of brake and the vehicle doesn't go back or it doesn't go front till I apply acceleration again.
Okay.
So that makes my life really easy. I don't have to keep on jiggling between brake and acceleration.
Right.
I have to put my legs only on brake at a time and acceleration.
ये Nexon EV Max जो XZ Plus है, इसमें क्या extra features है जो normal EV Nexon में नहीं है?
Well, there are a bundle of them. See, you get leatherette seats, which are also ventilated seats.
Okay.
So again, a very good feature during summers, right? In a city like Hyderabad, our backs get wet during summers. So it basically, avoids all those things from happening. Other than that, we have air purifier. So I love the air purifier here. I also get to see the air quality index.
Okay.
Any area I'm going to, I get to see what is the air quality there. Okay. That's a really good feature I enjoy. Other than that, we have wireless charger. This is one of the points which I'm not very much impressed with, because ये जो charge होता है तो गाड़ी as it moves, the phone also moves. So there is not a proper compartment for it, but it's still an add-on feature nevertheless.
Right.
And you also get a digital jewel knob, which is really classy, which is really cool to look at. It gives it adds on to the aesthetic look of the car.
Right.
So these are a few features that I love in the car. Other than that, I've already covered it before. It has the hill descent and hill hold and cruise control, which comes only with the XZ Plus model. And lastly, the sunroof.
Right. I think we can cover those 2 points as well. I think EV Max में नया set of design alloy wheels आता है. And
So-
also rear disc brake.
Yeah, so the rims are completely new. It's not specific to XZ plus Lux, but EV Max mein.
Max mein.
The look of the rim is much better than the previous Nexon.
Right.
Then you have alloy wheels in this, and all four of the tires are disc brake tires.
Right.
Even that is a really good feature, a really good safety feature again.
Right.
Now coming on to the safety aspect.
Right.
See, safety was never a primary parameter for me, when I was deciding to buy this car, but it's still one of the parameters, nevertheless, right? So this car also has a Global NCAP 5-star rating, right? So that was also an add-on factor. It makes you feel good कि हाँ, your car is safe to drive.
Right.
So most of my driving is in city limits, and city limits में हम लोग को in a city like Hyderabad we don't even get to cross 40, 50 that much, right? Bumper to bumper traffic is there. So safety was never the main reason, but it definitely adds on to your decision making.
Right. And nowadays, safety is kind of becoming a factor when people are buying their car. I think you have mentioned all the good points, the features that Nexon EV has. But in this last 3 months, क्या ऐसे चीज़ें हैं हमें बताइए जो अच्छा नहीं लगा? Probably it could have been better.
Yeah, there are a set of demerits also. It's not always goody all the time, right? In this car, fog formation is very fast. Now, I don't know if it is only my unit or it is the same with all Nexon EV Maxes that that have been rolled out in the country.
Okay.
तो मैंने देखा है अक्सर कि normally क्या होता है मानसून के टाइम पे फॉग फॉर्मेशन होता है. इस कार मैंने देखा इवन ड्यूरिंग विंटर्स, इवन व्हेन द कोल्ड इज नॉट मच, फॉग फॉर्मेशन इज वेरी फास्ट.
Okay.
So maybe it has something to do with the ventilation system of the car. I don't know what it is about, but fog formation is very fast. पर ये point भी है कि as soon as the fog forms, the fog removal system is again very effective.
Right.
So as soon as I put it, within 5 to 10 seconds, the fog goes off.
Okay.
So my request to all the people who are planning to buy EV Max कि एक बार आप check कराइए. Maybe it's a fault only in my vehicle. So get it checked once. That would be a good suggestion from my end. Other than that, the AC is not very effective is what I would say. क्योंकि मैंने बहुत बार एक्सपीरियंस किया है कि जब गाड़ी सनलाइट में पार्क्ड होती है फॉर सम टाइम, एंड व्हेन आई गेट इनटू द कार एंड आई स्विच ऑन द एसी, इट डज नॉट वर्क. I have to increase the fan speed to the maximum level, and I have to reduce the temperature to the lowest level for it to start working, and then I can adjust it the way I want.
अच्छा.
तो इसका एक रीजन ये भी हो सकता है, ये मैंने थोड़े आर्टिकल्स में पढ़ा था कि इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स में क्या होता है, द बैटरी इज नॉट सपोज टू गेट हीटेड, एंड व्हेन यू पार्क द कार इन अंडर द सन, द व्हीकल गेट्स हीटेड, right? And when you get back into the car and you switch on the AC, so all the effect of the AC goes to the battery in cooling the battery.
Okay.
So maybe that could be one reason. पर मैंने देखा है कि AC is not very accurate even when the car is not parked under shade, under sunlight, and it's under shade. When I come and when I switch on the AC, it's not very accurate for sure.
Right.
अगर मैं 18 में रखता हूँ तो कभी कभी गर्म हवा ही आती है, like it's just on blower, and I have to again go to the lowest temperature, increase the fan speed. I have to do a bit of tweaking for it to work. So that is one experience I've had, but otherwise once it starts working, the AC effect is good.
Okay.
So I'm not very happy with the utility spacing of this car. I've been to I've driven many cars.
Okay.
तो मैंने देखा कि utility spacing is much better in most cars. यहाँ पे अगर आप देखें तो there's only one glove box.
Okay.
And वो भी जब आप open कर दो, it comes down. Everything that is inside comes down. And most of the things tend to fall also at times. तो there's not much compartmentalization here. Even अगर आप यहाँ पे jewel knob के पास भी आप देखें, there is this small compartment. So you can't keep a lot of things here. So compartment should have been more. That is one drawback. Other than that, in the doors it's really good.
Okay.
The bottle keeping space and all works well. But other than that, dashboard में things could have been much better.
Right. Yeah.
Few points on the generic issues that people face when they are owning an EV.
Right.
So one thing is that, see, अगर आपको हम लोग रेंज की बहुत बात करते हैं कि नॉर्मल EV का 317 था, EV Max का 417 है, but is everybody able to get to that range? उसके लिए क्या है, I have experience and I'm part of various communities of EV owners also. So what the general discussion is that you have to put a lot of effort to get the best juice out of your battery, right? So if you want the best range that you can get, you have to put in that much amount of effort also. तो जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बताया कि मैं रीजन लेवल 0 पे लगाता हूँ, there is a bar that you can see कि कितना एनर्जी आप यूज़ कर रहे हो, how much energy you are getting back when you're braking. So you have to be mindful. It's not that you can't have a leisure drive.
Right.
You can have a leisure drive also, but if you're focusing on getting the best range, you have to be mindful. You have to keep seeing the instrument cluster. एनर्जी यूटिलाइजेशन देखना है, एनर्जी फ्लो भी दिखती है गाड़ी की, तो कितना एनर्जी वापस जा रहा है, कितना you're utilizing overall. So that is a mindful thing to do.
Right.
You have to be you have to be very active and attentive and keep noticing your instrument cluster throughout the drive. One other issue is, obviously I think this is a very common point, you have to go for a planned approach when you're planning for a long drive.
Yeah.
If you're going interstate, you have to plan, you have to see where you have charging stations available.
Right.
And you have to do it in a very safe way. So every 200 kilometers, there should be one charging station at least, not 300, right? You never know how the car acts.
Right.
So those are a few generic issues, not specifically to Nexon EV, but generic issues that EV owners will be facing.
Nexon जो EV है, ये खरीदने का एक्सपीरियंस आपका कैसा रहा, वो हमें साथ शेयर कीजिए.
Surely. So see, experience was not great, to be frank. I'll tell you why I'm saying so. So मैंने Nexon EV Max book किया था on the same day when the vehicle was launched.
Right.
So it was launched on 11th May, and I remember that day afternoon itself I went and I booked the vehicle at a certain dealership. And the thing is, the dealership, you know, they first told कि वो लोग मेरे को 4 महीने में दे देंगे, वो फिर कभी 3 महीना, कभी 7 महीना, फिर eventually it went till 7 months. I had to wait till November. From May, and they were not giving me any updates. The point is, even though there is a waiting period, you need to give a proper update. What is the tracking number or order ID that you're supposed to get it? उन्होंने मुझे बोला था कि they'll be giving me a certain number and I can track, my vehicle's progress using that number. लेकिन वो कभी मिला नहीं. In between there are multiple questions और आपका मॉडल यही है क्या? Nexon EV Max में 2 मॉडल आते हैं, one is 3.2 किलोवाट चार्जर, one is 7.2 किलोवाट चार्जर. उन लोग को एंड तक भी मुझे कभी-कभी they used to call में आस्क कि आपका ये वाला मॉडल है, आपने ये कलर चूज किया है. So I was like, bamboozled कि यार इन लोग मैंने गाड़ी बुक कर दी, बट उन लोगों को अभी तक ये नहीं पता कि मेरा मॉडल क्या है exactly और मेरा which variant I'm asking for, which color and all that.
Right.
So that was not a smooth experience for sure. So that is somewhere that Tata dealers have to get better.
Right.
One other specific instance that I would like to mention is, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, there are 2 charging options when it comes to EV Max, 3.2 kilowatt and 7.2 या 7.3 kilowatt. So I had gone for the 7.3 kilowatt charger. And after I got the vehicle delivery and after these people came to my home to install the charger, I didn't till that time I didn't even know कि अगर मुझे उसका if I have to make it useful, the faster charging capability of charging the car in 6 hours time, if I have to make use of it, I need a 3-phase meter. Okay. लोगों ने मेरे को ये बताया नहीं था कि 3-phase मीटर आपको
बताया नहीं आपको कि वो करना होगा.
तो that is again a disappointment क्योंकि चार्जर आ गया घर पे, but I am still using it like a 3.2 kilowatt charger because I don't have a 3-phase
अच्छा, मतलब कम वाला, even though the charger is more capable, you get the same speed.
Right. So even though my charger is capable of charging the car in 6 hours, I'm taking the normal time.
Right.
So I've paid 50,000 extra for that.
Right, you have to pay.
So that's a disappointment. So now I'm in the process of getting the meter changed to a 3-phase meter from 1-phase meter, but I could have done that way before, right? So that is again an experience that I should not have had. But overall, it's not very bad also, but not a great experience for sure.
Right. Okay, so thank you for joining. I think we have covered all the relevant points in our video.
Thank you for having me, Neil, and I hope people find this information useful and they're able to make an informed decision.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. EV sales has risen to almost 2,000% over the last 3 years in India, with over 5 lakh vehicles sold till December 2022. According to an independent survey, India will be close to $200 billion market opportunity by 2030 if everything goes as planned by the government. And Tata Nexon will be a major part of it. If you find this video informative, please do hit the like button and do subscribe to my channel for more such content. Till the next time, today we will find out the pros and cons of owning an EV.